All right, so Blake, you get a big sack there on that drive to help force them into a 3rd and long. Just talk about what was working well for the defense in that fourth quarter and making Missouri State have to use up all that clock on those possessions.
Yeah, I mean, like this week we did a lot of more like 3rd down pass rushing packages because they're more of a passing team, and I think we did a good job all game of applying pressure on the QB. And I mean, in the fourth quarter, it showed they just did a lot more check downs and they stayed in balance, wasted a lot of time. And it led to us, stopping them, holding them to that field goal. So it was nice.
Yep, and then after the game last week against Youngstown State, what did it mean to the defense to bounce back the way they did and hold a Missouri State team that scored 64 last week to just 13?
Right. What happened last week with our defense was just, we've all said it was kind of a fluke deal. It just, I don't know, stuff like that happens every once in a while, and unfortunately happened to us last week. And, they're a good team, so they put up, 56 points on Western Illinois last week. And so we knew they were going to come in pretty confident, ready to score some points. And for us to hold them at, I think they scored 13 points, was pretty good for our defense.
And then, Carter, you finally get into the end zone this season. Just talk about that play and why you were so wide open.
Our run game really set it up. Trav and Shamari did a great job running today. As per usual, our O-line did pretty well too. We just had a little check. Aiden gave me a little check for a little fade there. We got it wide open.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also in the first quarter, you have a 20-yard catch, and you cut up field on that play as well. Just talk about how's the connection with Aiden going these past few games since he's been inserted in the starting role?
Yeah, it's gone very well. We were kind of in scramble mode in that play. I just tried to find open space, and, he found me, did a great job of getting out of the pocket and getting his eyes downfield and just made a play out of it.
And then Aiden, 2 long touchdown passes today. Just what was working out there for you today?
I think I just, trusted my reads and trusted my guys out there. I got to give a humongous shout out to my O-line today. I got touched, I think, 1 time today. They played out of their minds. They did a great job. Receivers got open all day, and we just executed our game plan really well, so it was a great day.
Yeah, and then just late in the game with some snap issues there late in the game. Is that a moment where just as an offense collectively, hey, maybe let's just take a deep breath here and finish out this game?
Yeah, for sure. Those situations are obviously pressure situations, and, sometimes little things like that will happen. You just got to take a breath, and, I've said it a lot of times, but you can't make any situation bigger than it is. You just got to treat it like practice and, just execute what you need to.
And how have you felt like you've grown in the offense now 3 games, 2 games starting?
Any experience I'm getting right now is valuable, I think. I feel a lot more comfortable out there. This is my 3rd game now, so, like I told you, the offensive line protected great today. So just that comfortability of knowing, I got time to throw the ball and knowing that I have really good skill guys out there that are going to get open, and the running backs ran hard today. They caught some balls. Everybody did a great job today.
Carter on the second quarter, long, looked like a catch. They ruled it not a catch and they confirmed it. I guess that's what I thought from my angle. But what did you kind of see in that play and how it all went down?
We knew we came out after that quarter or whatever, and we knew we were gonna have that shot. We took it. Unfortunately, they said it wasn't complete, which whatever. But I caught that ball. But yeah, it was just well executed play.
And the deep ball seemed to be. You threw, obviously the Wesley touchdown, that one to Carter there. Was that part of the game plan? Is when those deep shots were open, like you guys were going to make sure to attack them that way?
Yeah, anytime you get a team that's going to play man-to-man like they do, you have to utilize the deep balls, because that's the only way you're going to get them out of it. And then obviously they stayed in it for a majority of the game, and we executed well and took the shots we needed to and completed them when we did. So.
And then Blake on that big sack there late in the fourth quarter. Take me through the rockin' the baby celebration.
I had a daughter last summer, so, and I never had a sack celebration, so me and the guys before the season, we kind of talked about it, and that was going to be my sack celebration or whatever, so, just rocking the baby is, I don't know, it's just kind of a funny thing to do after it gets everyone excited.
I'll start. Really proud of our guys. It was a good win. Missouri State's got a good football team. And I think shows you how good the league is. And I think at one time they were ranked 5th in the country. After they had 2 really good non-conference wins against good teams and almost beat Arkansas. Just shows you how tough our league is this year. And it was really, I think the thing that I was most pleased with today is, we had a lot of guys out. A lot of guys on the defensive side of the football. We're missing a couple of key players offensively. As a result, we had to have some younger guys really step up. And defensively, we played a really good 4 quarters of football. Offensively, we moved the ball enough. We had a chance or two to put some more points on the board that could have made that score look a little easier at the end. But it was a really good team effort. I thought our kicking game was really good today too, and affected field position. I think the biggest thing offensively today is we did a good job of keeping drives extended, converting 3rd downs, which has been a problem for us. And as a result, we had I think all those scoring drives were 7, 8, 9 plays. So.
Bob, your defensive line seemed to have the quarterback under pressure just about all game long. What was the key to that?
I think those, Coach Brown and Coach Johansson, they've worked hard with those guys. We were playing a lot of different guys. I mean, we had a couple of true freshmen playing today because of some of the injuries that we have in that group. We played without Nick Gaze. We played without Earl Miller, 2 of our probably, most talented guys, but you had guys like Blake Holden and Marcus Simmons, who's a true freshman, Mike Grace, who another true freshman, played a lot of snaps today, and thought they played hard and were able to put pressure. And obviously the other thing is we were able to get the lead. I think that's really important against Missouri State. We talked about that during the week. If we get a lead and put them in a position where they have to come from behind, it forces them to be a little bit more one-dimensional, and our guys took advantage of that defensively.
How has Aiden progressed in these past weeks? Obviously his first win as a starter.
Yeah, I think today it was noticeable. I thought he did a good job getting rid of the ball on time. He did a decent job of extending the play or two when we needed him to do that. He's seeing things pretty well. The last touchdown, he checked that play. He checked to protection and made that throw to Bell. And so when your quarterback is doing those kinds of things, they made it really difficult for us to run the football. They loaded the box down, and so we kept kind of throwing the body blows in there, running the football, but it was really the passing game today that became effective for us.
Following, last week's disappointment and whatever, repercussions towards your playoff chances they had, what's it say about your locker room that they came out today and played the way they did?
Yeah, it shows that we got great leadership. We've got guys that were really disappointed with the way that we played in Youngstown, and I thought our effort was great today. Our execution level, it can always be better, but we'll watch the tape, and I think our execution level was pretty darn good, and definitely a game that all 3 phases contributed to.
Yep, and Coach, and just with all the skill players you have on the outside, was it surprising that they were selling out for the run the way they were?
Well, honestly, if you look at us this year, we haven't thrown the ball very well, I think probably Missouri State's game plan came in and said, hey, we need to if we can stop Shamari and Travis. That combination that they, were potentially in for a good day. We're still playing a relatively inexperienced quarterback. Can I get one of those, Brian? From that standpoint, that was their plan. Coming in, they loaded the box a lot, and we tried to find some ways to run the football. And we were effective enough that we were able to, set up some of the big plays in the passing game.
Yeah, you mentioned how Aiden checked into the play to Carter. How important is it to give the quarterback a little bit of freedom there to make those checks if he sees something with the defense?
It makes your offense more effective, when they can understand. And that's one thing I will say for Aiden. He does have pretty good understanding of what the defense is doing. He threw the ball on the money today. Honestly, he probably, I don't know what his stat line was, 17-25. Honestly, he had, 2 or 3 that could have been caught. He could have been, 20-21. If you count the one to Bell that should have been a touchdown, that's a pretty good stat line if you throw those in there. Even without those, we'll take that kind of performance every day with that high completion percentage, those kind of yards, and obviously the 2 TDs.
And how impressive was it to see guys like Blake Holden and Miles Emery step up on the defensive line today?
Yeah, guys that we needed to step up, it was good, good to see those guys play well. We didn't play very well last week. Defensive staff, I know, was really disappointed. Obviously, we're really disappointed offensively too, because we thought we left a lot of points on the table. And it's kind of the way we have to win football games right now. You gotta win with all 3 phases, and we had all 3 phases contribute today.
From me, with that early fumble from Travis, how did you like the way he bounced back after that?
Yeah, he's a great young man. He had to carry the load today with Shamari getting a little bit banged up, and he earned every yard he got today. I'm telling you, but those tough yards are important for us because that running game is really what makes the pass game effective, and vice versa, because a couple of those completions were throws off of runs, and something that we can continue to get better at, and we'll need to be better against UND next week.
Coach, you mentioned down the stretch you had the lead throughout this game, but you didn't necessarily, Missouri State was fighting hard until the very end of this game. What was the message to your team when you were able to close this out, especially on the defensive side of the football?
Yeah, well, we had a chance to get a first down to seal the game, and the worst possible thing happened. We pick up a procedure penalty. So, at that time we just opted, hey, we're going to run the football. We're going to make them burn. Make them burn all their timeouts, which we did. The thought there, we feel like we got a really good punter that can flip the field, make them drive the length of the field and have to score a touchdown. And the way our defense was playing, honestly, we was very confident that in a minute 30 or whatever they had with no timeouts, that was going to be a pretty tough task for them. And defensively, the proof was in the results. They did a great job. Ideally, you'd like to be able to get that first down, close that game out without having to put your defense back on the field. But we needed the defense to step up, and they did. At the same time, we had a nice drive. We didn't end up with any points, but we had a nice drive. I think we took like 5 minutes off the clock, early in the fourth quarter. And, by doing that, you limit one of their possessions offensively as well. So all those little things make a big difference when you're playing teams in this league and trying to find ways to get wins.
Yeah, looking ahead, how does a win like this mentally propel a team looking ahead into next week and beyond? What does something like this do beyond the X's and O's?
Yeah, 2 things. Hopefully, number one, it gives a lot of experience to some younger players that we're going to have to lean on the rest of the way. And a win that hopefully generates us some momentum. We got to go on the road and play. We've not played very well on the road this year, and so no better way to do that than in your last road game of the year. We got to carry all that forward. all that momentum forward, all the positive things, all the good things that we did this week into another all three-phase performance on Saturday. All right, thanks.